Hey, it's Beth. Welcome to Girl Gotta Glue. We are flipping through the biggest traveling collage notebook I've ever created. That's how thick it is. I've used every single page in here. That was probably a mistake because, as you can see, the spine is screaming. It is a little bit bigger than the mini composition books from Dollar Tree. And I received this as a friend mail in 2018. Everything in here is mostly collage except like maybe one or two pages. I used up all the little magazine images, stickers, and whatnot. Anything that was too small but I just couldn't bring myself to throw away. Let's go ahead and flip through this thing. Creative life is never normal. I also use kids' books too, so. Conversations about nothing in particular. Need, want, love. Tell it like it is. That's share. I love that picture, but I didn't know what to do with it, so. This came from a leftover die cut. That just says, can you not? And it's basically, it kind of represents everything going on right now. Just everybody fighting about everything and anything. And I just thought she was so cute. She's from a vintage magazine. It just says, yes, I did, stranger. And then this one is longer. Just says, rebuilt from what? And it's got like a lassie dog and he's messing with an old bike. It's really rusted. And then back here, just a bit of odds and ends. Some of these pages don't really make sense. I just think they're fun. Monkey see, monkey do. It's a lot of pages I don't want to skip. This might take a while. Just warning you. A little bit of country. Trying to stay in the middle here. This says, I see you. And I thought this was cute. It just says, hello there. And this one. I really liked this one. Just says finding beauty. And this one, I have so many favorite pages in here, it's hard to pick just one. We got, and this one. And that one, I do what I want. She's trying to be sassy. Well, I tried to make her sassy, so. And then this one. I'm not sure if this is self-explanatory or not, but it's, she's on a therapist chair and she's just kind of opening up about everything. I like that one. And this is the page that I showed on camera in my last video. It's kind of quirky. I liked her lips right there. This one, it's magic. There's a little bit of a, it's not necessarily an Alice theme, just this, like, you know, I put Alice there with, it could be Alice in Wonderland if it wanted to be. And this is one of the last pages I finished a couple days ago. I love how it turned out. Lots of blue. I think the favorite is the eye right here, just a little eye, and then she's sleeping and she's like dreaming. And then there's somebody here in the water waiting to be pulled out. And this is another sassy set of pages. Sorry, not sorry. She's on her phone. And then this one, Peace of Mind. Just a bunch of little different images, stuff out of catalogs. Things that I just kept and I had no idea what to do with. Well, in a minute. Oh, I'm gonna have to glue that down a little bit. Trying to make sure I don't. This one was another set of pages that I just finished recently. Afraid, were you? Well, I can tell you all about it. There's just so much layering going on. It's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. Like here, I think my favorite part of this page is that this is not her arm. I don't know how close I can get without it blurring, but this is somebody else's arm and she's kind of scrubbing on, making a heart, and then I just kind of put that in her arm as her arm. So I thought that was clever. I don't know why. And that just says going places. By all these lovely tokens, September days are here with summer's best of weather and autumn's best of cheer. So I started this back in September last year. And as I finished, I got mostly finished with my Christmas glue book, so I started working really hard on this one. And I finally finished it up, which I'm glad. I love when I finish a book. I don't like to have a bunch of unfinished projects. I don't know why, I just don't. And this one, I kind of feel like it's done, but it's not. Maybe there's something missing right here, maybe not. It just says, if you stop telling lies about me, I'll start telling truth about you. And I just thought that was so interesting. So I put that in there. And there's a couple of other pages I did this past weekend. Lots of green, like she's going to the farmer's market, and added a lot of vegetables, the hummingbird and the doggy. Just so cute. I hope there's not too much glare. And I really liked these pages too. I also did these this past week. I see a friend, I feel a soul. And it says snake charmer, and he's just charming up a snake. And that snake, that's not actually a snake, that's a snake bracelet that came out of a catalog. And these are cute. They're just having a tea party. But it's not really a tea party. It's like a watermelon party. I also did these two over the last week. Just says keep moving forward. And then he says, "Oh, bother," he muttered. I think I had this theater for so long. It was just this little image. I'm so glad I got to use these up. And there's another set of pages I did. I did quite a few this past couple of weeks. I don't know if you can tell, but she's holding an ice cream cone. And yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but she has the ice cream cone and she's kind of giving like this, happy face. But then above her is one of those body measuring tapes, and it's in the shape of a heart. So it's like it's kind of I guess it's a metaphor or something. I was trying to be clever again, but I don't know if I came off that way or not. And then these were a couple of pages that I did way back when I first started this thing. I had a whole lot of kids' books that had little tiny images in them, and I just did not know what to do with those, and I didn't want to put them in my regular composition books, so all the stuff left over ends up somewhere, either in my Garbougies, which is just a junk journal, or these little tiny books. Say no to negativity. And then these two were recent from the past couple of weeks. That's Prince, and it just says strokes of genius, and I put some animals in there, and I just thought it was so fancy. And another set that I did recently just says peace and love and lots of candy and the Care Bears, and she's like looking like old school. She's actually a sticker that I got in a pack that I just didn't know what to do with. It was too small to do anything else. And I tried to put a dog like on her shoulders, but I don't think it worked out so well. But it's still cute anyway. And these are older. I did these a few months ago. Just opens up into that. And then they're kind of traveling with the map and the typewriter. And this was recently too. It just says then and now. For some reason, I thought it would have been cute to have that gravy boat pouring into that glass. I don't know why, but that's what happened. And these were recent too. It was like, probably 3 weeks ago I did this one. And these are older that I did. It was probably in the beginning when I first started the book. Life jackets to be worn beyond this point. And she's just dreaming, and pretty simple. These were originally my favorite pages in the beginning. I did this back when I started. And I just, everything about it I loved. There's a few in here in the beginning that were my favorite, and then when I finished it, the whole book, I enjoyed making it, and I love it. There's so many little collages in here that surprised myself. I love to layer stuff and fussy cut. Give it a whirl. She's kind of like, in the images, she's like writing in her diary or writing a story, and she's thinking about Paris and this date. Thinking of being somewhere else, basically. We'll keep going. About halfway through. These are so cute. It originally started with this dog. He or she had these pearls on their neck. I don't know if you can see that. And I just thought it was so adorable. So I had to create an entire page out of this dog. And we'll keep going. This is so hard to flip through because they're so little. Okay. And then these two, these are older too, just set apart from the herd. Then there's these two that is recent. I may need to re-glue that a little bit or tape it. It's prints again. I had a few prints images. I don't think I have any more now. He's kind of sitting on top of those makeup brushes, and she's listening to some records, or his record maybe. And I gave him a crown there. Take a little breather. We're all dreaming. From me. And then these were the last 2 pages that I did of this entire book. And I thought it was kind of funny because I was working on it, and I showed my husband, and he looked at it and he said, okay. He understood right away what every little picture meant. So hopefully you guys can catch on too. It just says, some nights I fake it. And then she's kind of smiling at him. And there's a kid sitting in the coffee cup, and then she's pulling the covers off of him, trying to wake him up, and then the speed limit's 1, and a couple of little knights trying to make it across the way there. And then here's a couple of little pictures. It says, don't worry, and then the next one is, oh, I'm so sorry. A few of these images just recently came out of one of the vintage magazines that I did a harvest on. I do harvesting videos too from magazines on my channel, and you can see that in my videos. Some of these images came from there. So yeah. Maybe not my favorite pages, but definitely up there and funny. These two I did a while back. It was like, it's been a few months. I just really like the color tones. And these were also a few months back. It says, here today, gone tomorrow. It kind of reminds me of me and my little sister. And then these two are a whole lot of lovely, and she's just reading a book and sitting with her doll in this retro room. And then I added an umbrella, and this came from a kid's book, and this came from a regular modern magazine, and this came from a retro magazine. just thought the color tones went together, so I just put it together, and it seems to go really well. So, and this was the second to last set of pages that I finished the book with, and I love how they came out. Also, it just says impossible to please, and she's just like, there's all kinds of stuff going on this page because I love to layer. Layering and fussy cutting, I think, really gives things depth, and I just love to do that. It's a lot of work, but in the end, the result, I love the result of it, so I will continue to do it until my arms fall off, I guess, or at least my hands. She's like singing there, but I have her sideways, and then she's drinking some wine and having a good time. But she's impossible to please. Okay, let me see. Don't want to skip any. And then these I also finished 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks. No, yeah. And it's been about a week since I finished the whole entire book. So probably, yeah, 2 weeks. These were a couple of the last set of pages I did. I did like 15 in a weekend to get it all finished up, and these were one of the 15. Stone statues crumbled and the humans within breathed. I had this image forever and ever and ever, and I was trying to incorporate it into a regular composition size, and it just wasn't working out. She was too small, and then I had put her away for so long, and then recently I went through a catalog that I got in the mail, and I saw this, and I thought, that reminds me of that little fairy that I have that I've been sitting on forever that I've been wanting to use. So I pulled, I cut this image out of the catalog, and I went and found her, and I just went to town and finally used her up. So I'm excited for that. These two I did a few months ago. I'm not sure what I was going with that. I just loved everything together. I just kind of sit, and my process is basically getting a whole bunch of pictures together that are in the same kind of color and moving things around until they kind of make sense in my head. So I liked these two also. And this one, this says, life is sweet. The polar bear is sitting in a chair taking notes. And she's sleeping. I don't know if you can see her back there. She's kind of in the middle, so it's hard to see, but she's dreaming, and she's dreaming here in the background, and it's like her head here, and it's exploding with dreams and ideas and thoughts, and I guess he's taking notes. And for a while, these two were my favorite pages. There's just so many little images in here. I loved everything about it. This kind of flips out like this. It's so little though, and she's another image I had for a really long time. She was just so small, and I got her used up, so that is awesome. It was all worth it. I'm gonna have to go back through here and use a little more glue. I'm gonna have to do something because this book is screaming. The binding is screaming. Some of the pages are screaming. I need to re-glue and do some stuff. But I figured I'd go ahead and do the flip through because I'm just so excited that I got it finished. And I'm so proud of it that I want to share. So if I had to pick two absolutely favorite pages out of this whole book, it would be this page and this page. I think it's probably the flowers and the jewels that really just make this page pop. I had this vintage picture of Madonna, and I sat on her for so long, and something was in front of her, right around in here, to where doing anything with her was almost impossible. But then I found this image in a magazine, and I'm like, well, he's kind of the same size as her, but not exactly. Possibly I could put him next to her and then block out that big area right there. So everything just came out really, really nice. And then I had this Live Jazz Tonight, and then I added, that's not washi tape, it's just regular magazine striped paper that I had seen. Kind of makes it stand out a little more. And then these little, it's just jewelry from a magazine. So, I mean, most of the stuff is from magazines. My noisy neighbor with his truck. So yeah, if there was any pages I had to pick, it would be, oh, wait a minute, okay. Just a little piece of paper. It would be these two. Material girl in a material world. And then these just say peace and healing. This opens up into this, and then just closes. Keep going. And this just says happiness isn't something you feel, it's something you do. And I kind of agree with that, because when I get to put things together and share, and it seems to come out okay in my head, I think it just brings me a little bit of happiness every time I finish these collage books. It's just so much fun, and it's extra special when I get to share with somebody else that might appreciate it as much as I do. Couple of fun pages I did a few months ago. Just says listen up. She's just listening to the record player, and that is Elvis's shadow there from a vintage magazine. And this just says creative, let it all out. And it's got that moon there, and I tried to make it look like he's holding a coffee, but I don't know if I succeeded or not. I just think it looks cute. I thought it came out cute. And then these two I did in the very beginning too. So I really loved all of these little traveling suitcases. We're almost to the end, you guys. And this I saw in, it was one of those magazines. She was doing some painting, acrylic painting or something. I don't do that, but I find it fascinating that people do that. And so I went ahead and added her, and then I added these little, like, colorful circles that kind of look like paint blotches. And then this page just says the art of influence, because I always find that fascinating how we can influence people, or not we, but other people, talented or otherwise, can influence you to do something. And there's a real mystery and magic in that. And that just says run rabbit run. I guess I tried to make a modern spin on Alice in Wonderland again, but again, I don't know if it succeeded at all. I just had these pictures of a candy shop, and I wanted to use up the images, and she was pretty colorful. I like how it came out, so that's okay. And then these two, It says, "What do I want to do? How on earth can I answer something like that?" I asked. I just thought that was funny. At the beginning, I did what I could, and now I do whatever I want. And that's kind of how I feel about my channel here. It's new. It's like brand new. It's only a couple months old. And I just do absolutely whatever I want. What I feel good about. Not for views or anything. Just sharing what I feel good about. And right now I feel really good about this book. I love it. I loved working on it, and I hope you guys like it too. This says Junk for Joy. Just as useful. I guess I was thinking about junk journals and garbouges and all that stuff when I made this page. Junk can be fun. Another man's junk is how does it go? One man's junk is another man's treasure. All right. So in the beginning, when I first started this book, this was another set of favorite pages. You can kind of see that it's the same girl from the other page. And she's still writing or drawing or coloring or whatever she's doing, and she's thinking about somewhere else. I kind of did a carnival theme here, so. He was out of a kid's book too, and I just thought he was so adorable. I have a few of these that I've been saving, and I decided to use them up. And these are just a bunch of random little retro images. It's kind of, her side is this side and his side is this side, where he's thinking about pizza and video games. And then on this side, she's thinking about makeup and high heels and love. And then there's a bear in the middle saying, "What?" All right, we've come to the end. These are the last two pages. There's no words. There isn't a lot of words, just a few words. I mainly focused on the collaging because there is a lot of layering of little images. But it's so thick, you guys. Look at that. I love it. I'm so proud. So what do you guys think? Do you have any little books like this? I know I've seen a few people working on books like this. I'm going to open it up and maybe start one, but I'm a little afraid that it isn't. I might need something a little bit bigger because I don't know. I need a lot of room. That's why I always use 2 pages. Well, that is all of my flip through of my biggest traveling collage notebook I ever created. Let me know in the comments if you have one like this or one you're working on. If there was any pages in here that stood out to you that you liked the most, I would appreciate if you let me know. If you enjoy these type of videos, please subscribe for more. It helps out my little channel quite a bit. Thanks for letting me share with you. And see ya.